Hey, what's going on, LFATV? This is your boy Luis, and as always, thanks for tuning in to another episode. On this week's episode, we are going to be working on our OEM fuel pump hanger for the 7M for the Mk3 Supra. Alright, so stay tuned. Let's get it. Alright guys, so there's a couple of things that we gotta go over for the fuel pump hanger. First of all, we are no longer going to be using these OEM hard lines. So these are going to get cut off basically flush right here, because we're going to be tapping new holes for the top of the hat of the hanger. Another thing, the feed is no longer going to be this one. We're going to use this one for our bulkhead, in which our wires are going to be running pretty much directly over the pump. And then this one right here is going to stay as our return. This one's right here is going to stay as our return line. And then where the bulkhead, where the OEM wires were going on the hanger, this is going to be our new feed. So the feed is going to be running from here, and this hard line is also not going to be used anymore. So the feed line is going to go from here into this part of the hanger. Alright, so let's begin to remove all this stuff right here.
Every time I make out real love. Every time I make out real love.
Alright people, there you have it. I did some wrinkled black on top. This is a rough mock-up. As you can see, I got the bulkhead right there for the wires to run through. I got two fittings right here for the feed and the return. This is a rough mock-up just so I could see how everything was gonna run and line up. Apparently, as you guys can see, this is sitting at an angle and I don't like how that sits. And the reason why it sits like that is because this fuel tube, PTF, what is it? PTFE? I think that's what it is, PTF. You guys know what I'm saying. This fuel tube right here is too short and it's causing it to sit at an angle. So I'm gonna go ahead and either look for another long enough one so it kind of has some room to play with. That way I could properly mount the fuel pump. Another thing, I was gonna use a hard line for the return. I was gonna use where is it? I was gonna use this bad boy for the return. So I was gonna basically put it like this and have it sit like that. But apparently, based on some recommendations, this tube will not work just because the fittings normally only work for stainless steel or copper. And as you guys know, this is not stainless steel, this is aluminum. So the last thing I want is for it to have some type of leak. I know it's inside the tank, but still I don't want it to leak any type of way. So I was recommended to basically just run another one of these tubes from right here with the barb fitting and just have it kind of go down like that and pretty much clamp it down so it doesn't move. And but yeah guys, this is kind of basically the rough mock-up of the custom OEM hanger. One thing to note is that I am gonna have to buy a new seal because the old one got beat up in the process and we don't want to be running an old seal anyways, so we're gonna be ordering a seal. I'm gonna be ordering a new -6 to 3/8 barb fitting, and then I'm gonna be ordering 2 of these PTFE fuel tubes. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. This is my Walbro 525 or 520, I'm sorry. I'm gonna be running this single, and also this came with the other clips to wire it up. Oh dang, I'm dropping everything. The other clips to wire it up to the ECU. So yeah, that's a rough mock-up guys. So really quick, I want to explain why I didn't just run the feed directly on top where the bulkhead is. If you guys notice, the bulkhead of the wires is actually bigger in diameter. So if I was going to run the bulkhead right next to one of the return line, it was not going to be able to work because it would have been too tight and it wouldn't have been able to screw on. So the only way for it to work was to have the bulkhead directly on top. So that explains why the fuel pump is actually slightly tilted to the side, because the feed is actually going more towards the back instead of going directly to the top. So that's the only reason why I didn't run the feed directly to the top right here, because the bulkhead fitting is actually bigger in diameter compared to these feed and return fittings. As you guys can see, this was already cutting it close in spacing. So if I would have done the bulkhead on one of these fittings, it would not have worked. And the last thing I want is to make extra holes to cause any leaks. So I hope that explains why I didn't just run the feed directly on top right here. As always, thanks for tuning in to this week's episode. I appreciate you guys watching. And if you guys are new to the channel, please consider subscribing and hit that like button and feel free to share and to your buddies or anybody who would like to maybe be interested in watching this video or the build for that matter. I appreciate you guys. Thank you, and as always, stay safe out there, and see you guys in the next one. Peace.